channel, and today we're going to be talking about the benefits of Pilates. And yeah, where do I start? So I watch 9 out of 10 times I'll always recommend someone come and do Pilates before they join my yoga classes, purely because Pilates focuses on spine and core. So the word core gets thrown around like, I love you, like that does. So, but really when I'm talking about core, I'm talking about the supporting foundation of the spine. So I much prefer people to come to Pilates for 2 or 3 months and just get a strong foundation, a strong stability platform before they move on to yoga. But generally the clients that we have in the studio, you know, they've got knee replacements, hip replacements, arthritis, all sorts of stuff where they can't really be putting that much pressure either through knee joints or wrists. So you can see that obviously in a yoga class, having to do downward dogs and chaturangas and all those things, it can be quite, what's the word I'm looking for? It can exclude quite a lot of people. So I tend to do a lot of modifications in my class to allow these people to do yoga. But again, especially with the kind of people that we serve here and the clients that tend to be a lot older, and I do think that Pilates is 100 times more beneficial as we get older, because it is more posture focused, it's more alignment focused, it focuses on correct body movement, so correct movement of the shoulders, correct movement of the legs. So what do I mean by that? So let's just say, for example, you're in your kitchen and you want to reach on the top shelf for sugar or whatever it is. Now most people will lift the shoulder and then lift the arm, and that isn't correct. That's faulty muscle recruitment. So what we need to do is pull that shoulder blade down and lift the arm. So you can see there isn't that big lifting of the shoulder, okay? So this is the kind of stuff that you hopefully are taught in your Pilates class. So Pilates is about functional movement and getting the body to function as it should. Recruiting certain muscles in a certain order, so that the body is stronger, safer, and more flexible. So the other thing that Pilates does is it teaches stability, so stability of the shoulder, so that when you move your arm, the whole body's not shaking, and the same thing with the leg. Can you move your leg inside of your hip socket without the whole body shaking? And then you're probably wondering, why is that so important? Well, it actually improves the mobility of the joint. So as you get older, that joint doesn't get stuck and stiff and all of that kind of stuff. So we are improving the range of the motion by keeping one part still and getting the other part to move, okay? It also teaches you how, it helps you to identify imbalances in your body, so that you can actually start to take note of what's going on in your outside world that's causing those imbalances. And while you might not have any issues now with those imbalances, maybe 5 years or 10 years time, you will start to get issues as joints wear, okay? So it is important to actually start noticing these imbalances as soon as you can, and then try and change them. So let's just say, for example, my right hip flexor, so the muscles in my right hip are tight, and so certain moves I find a lot more restrictive. And then I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing that's causing them. I'm not doing anything different to, you know, and I've just started noticing, and it's been about 6 months, maybe a bit longer, and it dawned on me the other night that when I sleep, I always sleep with my right leg up and my left leg straight. So now I'm trying to change that. So now I'm trying to sleep with both legs straight. So you can see there's things like that that you might not even think of. Carrying handbags is a big one, and people land up with big shoulders and sore shoulders, and you're like, well, what are you doing on that, son? Oh, I don't know. And then they pick up the handbag. Especially nowadays, people have laptops and all sorts in their bags. So Pilates is great for people with mobility issues, because it is so controlled. Because Pilates used to be called contrology. We're trying to control the body. Pilates is so controlled. You're not jumping up and down. You're not flinging your body about. Generally, in my class and in Paul's class, once you're on the floor, you're on the floor, and once you're up, you're up. There's none of this up and down stuff. So it's great for people with arthritis because it's gentle. We are not working to any pain. Yes, we work to discomfort, but not pain. And this is what we teach people. It's a really great abdominal kind of exercise. The ladies obviously love it because we all like our tummies burning. But actually what it does is it really tones up all these muscles around the waist and the back. And then a lot of the clients actually lose inches because the muscles have tone. So they're not really on a diet or that, but they do. Lots of people have said that they've noticed like within 4 to 8 weeks, they've already started toning around the waist, so getting different shape. It strengthens the muscles around the supporting joints. So if you are hypermobile, there's another syndrome, and I never know how to say it, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, I think it is, ELD something. They've got super flexible joints, and they often dislocate, so shoulders, knees, hips, very easy to dislocate, and obviously that's must be excruciating for them. And Pilates can help to strengthen those areas to then help those joints to stay in place and to be strong. So it helps the joints, strengthen the joints, it's helped the mobility of the joints, it helps with flexibility, so we do a lot of stretching in the class. And again, it gives you this awareness of your posture, so that when you're standing at the Tesco, telling Tesco, you're not all frumpy like that. You are like, oh yeah, what's my posture? So how to sit in your car. So a lot of what Pilates teaches you is about awareness. What you learn in the studio is like, how can you take that to the outside world and incorporate that into your everyday living. So when we drive, we tend to have the neck forward. So you have your headrest there. So can you lift the head up, move your mirror to adjust to that setting, so that when you start to slouch, you can't see in your mirror, which means, oh, my posture. So it's just small things like that that we teach in the classes and what Pilates is about. But it's about control, and it's about just learning about your body. Again, in our class, we do 5 minutes of relax at the end. So we have this, and I think sometimes the clients just come for the 5 minutes. So again, what it doesn't particularly have that yoga has is that there's a lot more I mean, you can do standing Pilates. I tend not to. I tend to do it on the floor, like Joseph did much of his classes. But there's a lot more standing. There's a lot more strength kind of stuff in terms of leg work in yoga that isn't in Pilates. But you will be surprised with regular Pilates practice with a good teacher who's making sure that your form is correct and you're doing everything as you should be doing it. You will be surprised at how strong and mobile you will become, because our aim in yoga is to have Pilates is to have strong but flexible muscles so that we have a better range of motion. So you will be surprised. Like, we went to Spain, we did a retreat about 4 years ago, and had a yoga teacher there who was giving yoga. I think it was Ashtanga yoga, I can't remember. And she was so surprised at how strong the ladies are. And I was like, yes, but they do Pilates. So don't underestimate Pilates. People think it's what the old ladies do, but I tell you now, my clients would wipe the floor with some of the youngsters out there with how strong they are. So give Pilates a go. It's great to help with backache, any lower back issues, spine issues. The list goes on with Pilates. I just love teaching it. It is so accessible for lots of different people with issues. You know, you're not on the wrists all the time and that kind of stuff. So I could talk all day, but I won't, because I'm sure I've probably got clients coming in a minute for a class. So have a lovely day. Get on your mats, get your body moving, and it will help you to feel better. So take care. Lots of love. Bye.